Welcome to Your Aunties Could Never, your favourite aunties on the internet. I'm Auntie AK, your auntie of all aunties, and I'm here with...
I'm FARRAH, your resident Caribbean in situ. Brap, brap.
I'm Nana, aka the Black Fairy, aka Dark and Lovely.
And I'm all things sugar and shade, Sade.
Hey! We are Bizak, and guess what? We've got our usual running lineup for you today. We've got Welcome to the Family, we've got Enemies of Progress, and we're going to solve your crazy, juicy dilemmas. We're also going to give you some news and nonsense this week, and I bet you're asking, how are we going to watch news and nonsense? How? Well, have you signed up to our YouTube membership? Have you? Have you? And if you haven't, let me tell you something. Guess how much it costs?
It's $1.99. Just $1.99.
$1.99.
$1.99.
Like ZZ said last week, you can't even get a KFC meal for $1.99. I've been saying that.
No.
You're not even listening to me.
And also, if you're listening on the podcast platforms, specifically Apple and Spotify, you can leave comments and you can rate us. When you're rating us on Apple, what do we expect?
Only 5 stars, please. That's
Can
all we
we-
want. Anything, let's send it back.
Return to sender. And if you're leaving comments on Spotify, we will be doing a very special comments show coming
Coming
I'm just
soon.
Yeah.
I think next week.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do
be.
it next week.
Maybe.
I will put it together next week. There's some really
This
good
is the
comments.
thing. It's going to be juicy when it happens. And just wait. Now we've got that out of the way. Make sure you...
Book the like button. 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 Boop it now.
Bop it. Bop it and bop it. Okay, guys, don't forget to comment, subscribe, do your thing, share it, share with your friends.
Yes.
But let's get into it. So much. I don't know what's going on with me. I think I'm a little bit drunk.
Oh, what's
Du-du-du-du.
Boom, boom,
Guess
boom.
what happened this week? Someone was born on the 27th of May. Happy birthday
to ya.
Cheers. Cheers, Auntie Farrah. Happy
Yeah.
birthday.
Thank you for all your lovely messages.
Yes.
Gemini gang.
Okay, let's not ghettoise the situation. Let's not take it too far, darlings. But yes, happy birthday, Sister Far. So much has been happening this week. First of all, Cassie has finally broken her silence and sends thanks to all her supporters in light of the horrible video released of Diddy doing what Diddy did. And, you know, obviously... Yeah, we stand with her, of course, and she broke her silence and said thank you. Chaos broke out in Margate after the Recess Land event finished later than the last train back. Nonsense, we will get into that into nonsense. Nigerian students have had their visas revoked by Teesside University for not being able to pay their fees. Dorsey Santana says women aren't built like men when it comes to running in these streets. And breaking news, dun dun dun, nearly a year after the Ocean Gate disaster, I shouldn't laugh, billionaire Larry Connor and Triton co-founder Patrick LaHaye plan to dive down to the Titanic to prove it is safe. We are going to get into that in News and Nonsense. If you subscribe, you're going to hear our opinions on all these stories. But first of all, who is our enemy of progress?
Well, our enemy of progress, first up, is the Labour Party.
Oh, God.
Because what in the name of Diane Abbott?
Exactly.
Like, what is exactly going on? She's in, she's out, she shakes it all about. Like, I don't actually know what's going on. So at first, as you all know, that she'd been suspended pending an investigation. Turns out the investigation actually ended several months ago, but they still hadn't restored her whip, correct?
Yeah.
So then... Obviously, the elections are coming up and it was like, is she going to be able to stand? Are they going to restore it? Da, 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 da. So then they said they're going to restore it. But then she's banned from actually being in the election. Then they said, no, that's not true. She can go ahead and do it. Now they're like, true, not true, we don't know. Like, there's been a lot of rumours out today. And Diane Abbott has made a statement saying, no, actually, she isn't banned. But at the same time, we don't know if she can run. It's very strange. And as I said, it's what in the name of Diane Abbott? It seems like an episode of Abbott's Elementary. So So anyway, my thing is that the Labour Party are in the bin because it should just be clear.
Yeah,
She's
should.
like the most, how long has she been in it? She's done
over 30 years.
35 years, something
Yeah.
like that.
First black woman.
First black woman. She wins consecutively. She's at least a seat that they know they're going to win.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she's a safe seat.
Yeah.
And what in the hell are they playing at? That's what. So they got going in a bin. To me, it seems like a pure racist move from them. They have accepted someone from the Conservatives who's defected, and that person, I can't remember her name, some woman, and she is a clear. She has made racist comments.
Right.
She's actually a hater. She's an enemy. But they've accepted her, and they're letting her stand, and all this stuff. And meanwhile, it's questionable what's going to happen with Diane Abbott. What do you guys think?
I mean, Labour, what are you doing? Definitely an enemy. And Keir Starmer's a weak leader. He's not sure in himself. He's not backing Diane the way he should back her. He's wishy-washy. It seems like he's like courting the opinion of the masses before he kind of stands firm in his decision on what's going to happen. And I think Diane's just being super disrespected. And we were discussing that why she's so beholden to Labour.
That's my question. I would really love for her to just be independent.
Yeah.
And she would win Hackney and Stoke Newington anyway, as she always has. The last one, she won by 33,000. Wow. That was the lead that it's hers. So I don't understand why she seems to have such loyalty to Labour at this moment in time when they have repeatedly disrespected her for years. I don't get why she isn't just following on from Corbyn and just being like, you know what, stuff the Labour Party, I'm going to run independently.
Yeah.
And I would love that for her. And I want all of her supporters to urge her to do that. Because why? Why does she need to be in the Labour Party? What does the Labour Party even stand for? At this moment in time, it's nothing. They're exactly the same as the Conservatives.
They are.
I sneeze on them.
But the thing is, it's just like, I feel like it's really unfair as well, because if she is able to run, then you've created all this confusion, do you know what I mean? Which is just unnecessary. And you've taken time away from her campaigning. Do you know what I mean? So is she going to be compensated for this? Like, what's going to happen? Do you know what I mean? How do you reconcile that? She's going to win her seat anyway. Whether she's independent or whether she's under Labour, she's going to win her seat.
But stand a bit firm in what are we voting for? Because elections are coming up.
We ain't got long.
Let's get into it. Because who's your enemy of progress?
Rishi Sunak. Rishi Sunak.
Why Rishi?
He decided last week, and it felt like he literally decided, woke up in the morning, called a cabinet meeting and was like, you know what, today we are going to call the general election.
Exactly.
Just like that. And we're not going to call the general election for October so that we prep the country and there's time. We're going to do it in July. We are going to give the country 6 weeks and that's it. And literally you got to get out there and campaign in 6 weeks and we are going to find out who is going to be running Great Britain. And Rishi did that. And then, a couple of days later, he went on to say, and if the Conservatives win, what I pledge to this country is all of the youths over 18 years old are going to have to do national service. There is lanes to this national service. It is not everybody has to dedicate their lives for a whole year, but there is a compulsory 1 year service that you have to do in the military or voluntary kind of service to the community. And that's a monthly basis. I still think it's disgusting and I really hope that the Conservatives don't win. But I just wanted to discuss with you guys, do you feel like this is rushed? Why did Rishi do this to us? What
You
was
know
his
what?
plan?
I'm
I don't get the
thinking
strategy.
it's just like the 4th of July. Ain't that America's
Independence
holiday?
Day.
Do you know what I mean? Did he have beef with them or something? Why did he pick that date? It just seems so freaking random for us. I don't know. I think he needed to do something quickly because he was probably going to get pushed out anyway. So he was just
measure.
do you know what I mean? Let me just try and flex my muscles. Because didn't Gordon, what's his name?
Gordon Brown.
Yeah, he tried to do something like that as well. And then he
it
got
up in his face,
Yeah, exactly. That's why the Conservatives in power, no? Yeah, do you know what I mean?
I feel like a really quick
because
one.
He wasn't
win or
elected.
something, yeah.
He wasn't elected, and then he tried to call a general election very quickly, and they were like, "No,
bro.
Do you know what I mean?" And
Yeah.
Rishi doesn't understand. History is going to repeat itself.
Yeah.
You're not getting this. It's going to be a terrible win. I'm seeing the campaigns. I think Carol Vorderman was pushing something about people should vote tactically, so you get not just like Labour win or whatever kind of thing, that you absolutely obliterate the Conservatives, eviscerate. That's it. Yeah,
I love
just
that
like
word.
absolutely, just get rid of them completely, so they're not even the opposition anymore, which sounds lovely.
Right.
Yeah.
I just want to understand what I'm voting for, because yes, you've got to vote tactically. We don't want any more. All the Conservatives run this country into the ground, but not a but. Labour, can you step up and lay down your policies and strategies? What are we voting for? Because there's also the similar campaign that's happening in America. Like, though Joe Biden might be the lesser of two evils, he's also not got a great rap sheet or not speaking solidly on what he will bring to the table. So that's why giving too much room for people to just go and vote for Trump, because they're seeing Trump as better the devil they know. And I don't trust what any countries do. Though I feel like they don't like Rishi, you just don't know what people are thinking behind closed doors. And those conservative powers that be, especially the people that control the country, that might see conservative right-wing business-focused agendas more beneficial. I just don't trust the powers that be that can completely say that Rishi's not going to get another win. I'm a bit concerned.
He hasn't got a win. He didn't win.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what I mean? Like, this is the thing. This is him testing it. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't. I'm sorry. Like, I know it's not. Sorry, just quickly. Yeah, I know it's not the same thing, but we see people, the British public, vote on reality shows and TV shows every single
they
week.
don't like the
yeah,
browns and the blacks.
The blacks and the browns go first.
Fair
It's
enough.
not happening.
Fair enough.
It's not happening.
Yeah. Like, we haven't had an election since Boris was about.
How many years is
Do you know
that?
how long how long ago that was? But in all honesty, I think people have to get out of this position of you have to vote Labour or Conservative. You do not have to vote for Labour, and you do not have to vote for Conservative. The way that you make a statement is voting for somebody else to give them more power, so they do not, like you said, have the majority. We don't want Conservatives having a majority. We don't want Labour having a majority. We want them to be forced to listen to other people who represent the people. That's what we actually want.
Who are the other candidates that we could get behind?
So you can vote for, so in a general election, so you're doing the leader of the country and you're also doing your council.
Yeah.
So then
who are
that's
those
how it is. So you would go on, who's offering the most in your area?
I know that. I'm talking
and
about
then
who
they are
are.
going to run it's different for
Either
everybody.
independents,
Yeah.
Green
But I'm just
Party,
saying, are there any- is there
not the
anyone that
Liberal
stand-
Democrats, because
they're-
they're
no.
the frigging...
No, you don't-
Puppets for Conservatives.
Do you know what I mean?
You don't want to
Seriously, they messed
split
up us
the
in the first place.
leader.
No, but that's why you have to kind of vote
But
for...
for your council, you do want to be like, look, whoever is offering the most for your council service, you want to vote for them. And that may be a Conservative, that may be a Green Party, it may be an independent. And that's the thing of actually being tactical, because your council can be run in a very different way to who is running the country, and they need the MPs. So you can shape it in a different way.
But you still then do have to vote for either Labour or Conservative to run the country.
You
Not
don't.
that you have to.
No,
I'm talking about
but-
not to split the major vote.
Like in the last local
to change
elections,
it.
in the last local elections, the Green Party made more waves than
Yes.
it had.
Yeah, they
in
did.
a very,
Yeah.
very long time. Like ever, I think it was the Green
Yeah,
Party
yeah,
achieved
yeah.
more votes, more seats than they ever had. Now, if that is not a clear indication of what's going on in the country, I don't know what is. The reason why Rishi called the election is because he could see, based on the results from the local elections, that he was going down.
Yeah.
And he knew that it was only a matter of time before his party decided that we actually need a new person.
Yeah.
You cannot vote someone new in for the head of your party if you're in the middle of a local
Absolutely.
general
Yeah.
election.
Yeah.
You can't. So he's trying to be strategic with
Yeah.
it. And he's also deluded enough. You know, when people have so much money and they're so far removed from reality, which is what he is. He was on Loose Women talking about all the things that he did for people during COVID. Like, come on, Rishi Sunak, we can see through you. The country can see through you. And Keir Starmer is not someone who anyone should be thinking they should vote with. He cannot make his mind up about a single thing.
No, he's
Keir
a
Starmer
weak
was on
leader.
national television lying.
Yes.
Saying, I did not say this about Israel. Those words never came out of my mouth. I never said that they have the right to cut electricity, water, and all those things. They played it in the video, and he still said, I didn't say that.
Yes.
This is not someone you should be voting for.
I understand. Yeah, but
That's
the problem.
Yeah,
because
that's the
the
thing.
problem. Is
Do you remember when Theresa May called the election and she didn't get enough seats? What did she have to do? Do you remember what she had
Oh,
to
that's
do?
when they had to pay the
They had to-
SMP or something. They paid.
but really and truly, like it's because of that it was an Irish party. I
Yes,
think.
yeah.
But they're really right.
No, I know. I'm not.
Yeah.
No, listen. I'm not suggesting that should happen. But what I'm saying is, it is not a case of it has to be one way or another. Whoever is, say for example, the Green Party were to get a massive amount of votes, they have to join together, or that would be the next step that they join together, and then that would mean that they have to listen to the other people as well. It is
To
not
have a
just-
coalition.
Exactly.
Yeah,
No, I
it's
definitely
a
understand
coalition
that. So,
government.
coalition,
Yeah,
exactly.
do you know what I
But
mean?
that
But
hasn't
this is the thing. This is what the Liberal Democrats done, and they went for power, and they fucked it.
And that's
They
the point we-
did.
And they haven't recovered.
No,
since.
and they haven't, and they never will.
Because people look at Liberal Democrats as an out. 'Cause we were
Yeah.
like, there was a moment, especially in our, I think whether it's college or school, when that happened, we were like, yeah, we're going Lib Dem because it felt like, okay.
No, it's because they promised
they
to the
really-
students.
Yeah.
They
They
promised
really-
things
They
for
was
the
going to get
students.
rid of school fees,
Yeah.
all of that
All
kind
the
of
stuff.
stuff. Do you know what I
And then
mean?
they became the right wing kind of sucker boys after when they
Crazy.
got the
And
coalition.
Nick Clegg is advising right wing people, isn't he, or
imagine?
something like that in
Yeah.
America? He's great.
Yeah.
But
That's
they're
what I'm
all
saying.
just
So
grabbing
that's what I'm
power,
saying.
allegedly.
My thing is the main three parties are fucked, and people have to
Yes.
look outside of that. Like when it was the local elections, I was doing some research. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know everything, but based on what the other people's policies and what they stand for, I need to read the whole thing in it.
Yeah.
But based on what these people are standing for, I would prefer to vote for one of them than any
But then,
of the
so
Labour.
are you saying that no one votes for the top three and then just vote for your locals
I'm
and leave it like
saying-
destroy the mark at the top?
I'm saying we
That's
need
what I'm
a
saying.
new regime.
But it's not
Because
gonna change
We
if-
need it.
yeah.
Well, it could though. It could. We need. If
Yes.
everyone's thinking, "Oh, I can't vote for these
No,
people,"
no, I get
that's
that.
what the top two depend on.
Yes.
They're
they do.
free.
Yes,
they
That's
do.
what they depend on. Even in America, it's the better of two, the lesser
That's
of
what
two
they always
evils.
do.
Yeah.
But there are other people who are standing.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
just need to think about. Let me not vote for them.
You need more people actually in alignment to who you're going to vote
Precisely.
for. I
But
think
that's what I was talking about. Who
there
are
is
the other candidates?
there is
apart
a
from the
lot
councils?
of talk on actually that this is just a handover of power, and Keir Starmer hasn't shown himself to actually be under any type of Labour influence in any way.
no.
He is not for working class, which is what the Labour Party was about.
Exactly.
So it's actually he will just carry on what the Conservatives have done
Exactly.
and keep it going. And we know Labour governments generally spend a lot of money. They put the country in debt. And at this moment in time, there is lots of talk that that's what's needed. There needs to be extra borrowing, and Labour usually does that. And when you follow through actually how politics goes, Labour comes in usually for about 8 years, and we come heavily in debt, which is kind of like a good moment for immigrant communities. So we can run, if Labour comes in strategically as a black person, it's like you can run with Labour because they don't do things to cull you like the Conservatives do. You can kind of thrive under them. But there does need to be a plan to leave. Like it's not, the powers are changing, kind of going off of like being in the West and it being a superpower is shifting.
Yeah,
It's going
yeah,
to
it's
change.
not. It's
So
not.
we have to think about things like really strategic. You run with a Labour government for a time, but what's the exit plan?
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
not to be like poo-pooed at this moment. It really is crunch time. There are wars everywhere, and we have to think how that affects us.
Sorry,
I do-
the national, go on.
Go on. I was going to say, I do think, though, what you're saying is based on how Labour were. When you had a Labour, okay, forget, like, what's his, Tony Blair.
It's from the Tony Blair years.
fooled us, okay?
Yeah, he started
Keir
to go
Starmer
move the-
has shown his colours.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
know what's going on with Keir Starmer.
Yeah.
We know what he's about. He is conservative light. That's what he is, right? So those are my fears. The strategies that we're used to with Labour behaving, I just don't think that we're
I
going to
think
get that
we've been
from him.
prepped for that from Tony
And the, other,
Blair.
and the other thing is as well, the country is massively in debt. Let's not forget how Liz Truss fucked us up. She fucked us, right? Let's not forget that. We are massively in debt. You've got more people using food banks than ever before.
Yep.
We're spending billions of pounds on wars that have nothing to do with us.
Yep.
That, people cannot even heat or have housing, places to sleep. The country is in a massive state of...
That's
And
not
it's very
changing.
It's not changing.
It's not changing. And it's very interesting that national service is now becoming in the
Of course.
forefront. Keir's going to drive that. It's going to be a thing because also they are prepping us for world wars. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
then the fastest way is to get the youth.
Well, you know, there's like
Meanwhile-
huge chat actually that on the ground in Ukraine, you will see British soldiers.
Yeah.
And there's actually like videos, watching the videos of it. And it is like, so they're saying at this moment, all they're doing is money and arms. But actually, there are personnel down there and they're fighting. We are at war with Russia.
Yeah.
They're just not saying it. And give it a couple of years, they will tell us it.
Yeah.
And really... So Rishi has come out and put this as the agenda, like we're going to have national service. I don't think he's going to turn this down. I think whoever wins,
I don't think he will.
it's going to happen.
And Rishi has also come out on X today and said that not everybody needs to go to university.
They're dumbing us down. And if you listen, there's a whole thing about education.
He said
They're
you don't
dumbing
need
us
to go to
down.
university to be
I
successful.
saw that. But the other day, he's forcing maths and science.
I was
down
just
our
about to
throats.
say.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
That's because you got a math. You got to
Okay.
work out how many bullets are in your gun
Yeah.
and how the distance
just
between
about
this
it.
point and that point when you need to whack someone.
It's definitely happening. There's going to be a war. I mean, on the national service, we had a real conversation at home. I have 2 boys.
Don't reveal your strategy.
I'm off. I've been telling our audience this for time. Like, this is an exit. We are gone. But this cemented it. I'd be damned if these kids that I literally worked very hard to have them are going to war for anything.
Imagine.
For Britain to fight.
Britain.
Like,
Cha.
even community service.
you know-
I'm not on it.
but it really, you have to be mindful though, because some of our home countries, national services are things as well. Do you know what I mean?
I would do
it's
that
just
though.
Like, yeah.
I
But they, it depends who they're. You might kind of be in the same situation because it depends who they're aligned with. Because sometimes they borrow from the colonies.
They do.
To get their soldiers
then
to
That
fight
is
their
true, that is
wars.
true.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
So
Yeah.
far, Ghana
Don't get
doesn't have it.
recognised.
So that's quite lucky. But who knows?
Who knows?
But you know where we're going to go.
At least better my people. But yeah, I'm saying, my child, let's go. But you're not, whatever. There's an interesting bit about community service. I hate that it's called community service and aligned with punishment. But I think there's something in having some sort of formal way of giving back to your community. I don't like it being labelled as national service or community service for innocent children that are just minding their own business. But there is something in understanding the area that you live in and finding a way to give back. I like that idea, but I don't want it enforced by the government in that way.
The problem I have with that is they've gone from apprenticeships. Do you remember all the apprenticeships?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah,
all of
yeah,
that.
I remember that.
They've gone from that shit to now community service.
Yeah.
What are you doing? So what are they going to be doing in the community? Are they going to be doing jobs that they don't want the councils?
They're
or
going to be
whoever pay
fixing
for
the
it?
roads
That's what I mean.
that we've already paid for.
This is my point.
With
What
our
are they going
taxes.
to be
Metaphorical
doing?
cotton.
What are they doing? So all of a sudden, community service is like all the labour that is needed.
The
on
jobs.
streets.
Instead of
all those
taking
jobs,
prisoners
and then they
giving
no
them
longer
jobs,
have to pay anybody because
Yes.
it's community service.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, it's not as simple as that, man.
I think
You
we
know,
need
it's
to.
not as
I think we need to
simple.
switch. I think we need to be more like Switzerland. We need to be minding our business. We're an island, right? We need to mind our
Be
own
an
business.
island.
Like literally, do you know what I mean? Like we need to become prestige, like super bougie. No one's.
It's not gonna
Britain is so far removed from that.
I know, but we need to
Britain
change
is
it.
gully.
There's
No, but we
nothing.
can't- no, it's not
There's
Britain.
nothing a bit of PR can't do,
Britain are
handle,
the
man.
foundation
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
everything
Dirty,
factories in the world.
colonising.
But now
It's
isn't
like-
now the time?
No,
They don't care.
To
Let's
change.
Do it.
Let's go.
Seriously, we have a real opportunity, people.
I love it.
It's the black.
I love that you have this conviction that Britain could ever... Britain, this tiny
Change its
island that we're
jaws.
on, went around the world and colonised
it.
bare places.
Yeah.
They think it's as large as Russia.
The song is Rural Britannia. Britannia rules the world. Britain never. What is it?
We need to
Don't
change.
ask us about
It's
them
a
lyrics there.
Britannia rules the waves or some shit
Yeah.
like
Oh,
that.
you're football fans because they're the ones that rule our
They
country.
need to go and fight.
No, they're not going. They're not
they should be
going
the first
to.
ones
You
to go
think
and
Dave
fight.
and Harry? are going-
Dave and Harry.
Do you know what I mean?
No, they'll give it large,
Seriously,
but they're going to die.
No, they're gonna die. They can't even run. We're the most obese country in Europe.
Dave and Harry is claiming benefits.
What are they gonna do?
That's gonna be like, no, send the immigrant. Anyway.
What are they gonna do? Sorry, I didn't mean that in a bad way. That
My
came
enemy
across
of
fatphobic.
progress. Talking about fat people.
Oh.
Because you said obese people. The obese Harrys and Toms. What did I say?
Okay.
Yeah, go on. Where are you going with that? Lance?
My enemy at the moment, lightly, I don't want to get told off, but I do. Uncle Eddie Abu
Oh.
for eating raw meat at the butchers.
Ew.
So Uncle Eddie has been trying to help and make sure that we stay fit. We stay healthy, we eat well, we respect our bodies.
It's actually fucking fit.
It's, with a lot of cursing in between.
Yes.
He pulls no punches, he's unapologetic, and he's down to take down the industry of falsified foods, dangerous ingredients, and processed goods. He wants us to eat raw and boiled eggs and enjoy life a healthy way. So if you must follow. So this is what I'm saying about weight and stuff. But for me, the other day, he went way too far. Uncle Eddie walked into a butcher's, asked the butcher man to slice off a piece of meat, rump steak it looked like, and then proceeded to take the meat and eat it raw. Oh. And then say, it was pretty good. That was, no. I think he went a step too far. And Uncle Eddie, I understand what you're doing. I understand that protein is a necessity for some, not for all, but I get it. We need protein. However, raw meat, unwashed meat. There are a lot of foolish and impressionable people in this earth who will do the same, who will enter their butchers and pick up any type of meat and push it in their mouths. And then we talk about salmonella, listeria, diphtheria, what's the advert?
It was, I saw like chloroplum, something like there was loads of stuff.
All the things. Let's not do this. Just be mindful of your platform. I get your teaching, but I think that was a step too far. I don't like it. Enemy of progress, in my opinion, for that behaviour.
Was it a big bit of meat?
It was a slice of rump.
It was a slab, and he bit into it.
It was
Like the
very.
Flintstones.
It was a
Flintstone
massive. It was
stab.
probably about a couple of £100 steak.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Not a cheap bit.
No,
No.
definitely.
It was a
And he
fucking
bit
large
into
bit,
it. He didn't
Eddie.
take it home.
No.
He was in the butcher's and he
Still.
bit it. They didn't even put a plastic wrap on it.
No. His
It was
raw
in his
hands.
bare hands.
You see him chew and swallow it.
Yes. And in the comments, it kind of looked like he was struggling to, because the comments were like, you did not like that, because he was like,
Because it's gross.
That's good.
I suppose.
Hello.
Oh, go on.
Hello.
Give us I suppose.
No,
Excuse
listen,
me?
as a person who does not eat red meat,
Yes.
okay, let me just say that out loud. I suppose for people who have like steak and they do choo-choo and then they eat it.
Oh,
You know,
like
they go
what-
choo-choo.
Like when
Yeah,
it's blue,
rare.
when
Like, it's not even
Yeah.
like it doesn't even. I don't even know why they're bothering, but they literally go choo-choo. That's it.
I understand.
Yeah.
And then when they cut into it, it's all bloody. I suppose he might be like same thing.
He said, before you
Same
could,
thing.
he said on his post, until humans discovered fire, we lived, we ate meat and fruit in season. I believe for optimal health, include a decent amount of animal protein, including the fat, into your diet. Even when raw, you can digest red meat like our ancestors did. You don't have to take my word for it, and you don't have to necessarily eat raw meat. Just increase your meat animal protein, including fish and eggs, into your diet and see how good you'll feel. That's kind of like a little bit of a disclaimer, but you still filmed yourself eating raw dirty meat.
And you can't actually go down that road with meat in this country with how it's farmed. And I think that's where it's actually really like harmful to be eating. They pump meat these days with hormones. It's like that. It's not actually the same type of meat like our ancestors were
Exactly.
eating.
It's really not.
And you're in a butcher's, like, we don't know, is this organic? Can people afford that? The cost of lives. Like, literally, people can't afford. And he's so influential now.
Yes.
I agree. I think it was a step too far. I don't mind the eggs. I don't mind the eggs.
You know how I feel about the eggs, Uncle, but it is what it is.
It's all right with
They
the
are
eggs.
protein.
At least they're cooked eggs.
Yeah.
You know, I remember the salmonella scare.
Exactly.
I cook my eggs properly, but not raw meat. I was like, don't do that. And even him going at the vegans as well. It's like, I don't like this path.
Yeah.
I don't like this path that you're going down, Unks.
He's irresponsible.
Yes, tell him. He is.
Absolutely
I'm scared.
irresponsible. He's using fake data almost, like, do you know what I mean? Because it's like back in the day when our ancestors used to eat raw meat, they would hunt the meat.
And farm
yeah,
them.
do you know what I mean?
It was
they
all
would
organic.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
definitely all organic, but their bodies worked differently because they went
Yes.
through a period of starvation, then had to heighten their energy.
Exactly.
Like cortisol is moving, all this kind of stuff. Then they get the meat, then they get the reward. So your body's operating in a different way. It's not the same. You're sitting at home in front of your computer filming yourself. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Occasionally you're going to your gym, you're eating eggs and sprouts and blueberries all at the same time.
With meat.
What with me? Freaking ridiculous. Like, seriously, I get that he's trying to help the masses, but I really think like some of these things are pretty dangerous. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not a doctor, you're not a nutritionist, you're
he
not.
was a nurse.
You're not a doctor.
What kind of
Uncle, I'm trying. He's gonna come for us.
Eddie, like, please, we understand.
But I think I was clear what I said. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, seriously, it's just like you have your knowledge that you want to share, but people, like you said, people are impressionable.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? And these things you need to consult your doctor. You need to talk to a nutritionist about you and your body, not just follow this man because he's doing some stunt for Instagram.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what it is. It just seems like really cringy and really like, oh, look at me, I'm doing this thing. Like, no, I don't like it.
That was some of the reactions. Like, okay, Uncle Eddie, if you're running out of content, just say,
Right.
You've gone a bit too far. But someone in the comments, apparently a doctor, Jarrett, can't guarantee if he is a doctor, but he looked like he was a doctor, said eating raw meat can lead to food poisoning due to bacteria like Salmonella and E. coli and may contain parasites. Please, as we have said, consult your doctor, and please, I would just say, to be on the safe side, do not go into a butcher, order meat and eat it there and then. At least wash it.
Just
don't even do that.
Don't do it.
But
Like, in this day and age,
just don't do it.
no, unless you were rearing that animal,
Yes.
and you're of that type, like, but don't go into a
But
butcher.
even then, what is going to possess you to just chop off his leg and just be like, no.
Yeah, I'm not.
I mean, you know, Uncle Eddie, I beg, relax. Small.
It's got to his head, man.
Auntie Farrah, back to you.
I have a serious one. Very serious one.
Very.
So a few days ago, I think it was on the 26th of May, there was an Israeli attack on a refugee camp in Rafah. Now, it was in an area that was deemed a safe zone, which the Israelis, when they told people to evacuate from certain areas in Rafah, they told them to go to this particular area. So they launched an attack, and it killed 45 people who were sheltering in tents. After the attack happened, there was silence amongst the media. You know, amongst social media, it was out everywhere. Everyone's in up in arms. But platforms like BBC, CNN, all the major mainstream media platforms didn't actually say anything. Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, came out and he called it a tragic accident. A tragic accident. He said that you know, they're going to investigate themselves and to find out what exactly happened. I would like to throw him in the bin, as well as America, because it's been proven that it was American weapons that actually were used during this strike. And, you know, amongst the casualties were not only men, women and children, but like babies who were charred to death, blown to pieces. We saw it in real time. Now, it's not hearsay like what they came out and said after the October 7th tragedies. This is actually stuff that you can see.
Yeah.
And another thing is, like, a lot of the stuff that was said to have happened in October 7th in regards to babies has been proven not true.
Yeah.
Right? So one of the people who came out and was discussing it in the White House was John Kirby. And John Kirby is the White House spokesman for national security, right? So he came out and he said, in response, firstly, he was outraged and he said that he was a bit, he was a bit annoyed that people were asking him how many charred bodies does the president have to see before he changes his policies on Israel. He was offended. He said, I'm actually offended by that question, okay? But he came out and he said, 1,200 innocent Israelis were raped, mutilated and slaughtered on October the 7th. If you think that we've forgotten that, we haven't forgotten that. He said that they are still a very viable threat in Rafah, that the Israelis are, imagine living next door to that. He said that, do you think that they've abandoned, talking about Hamas, abandoned their genocidal intent towards the nation of Israel? He also said, bear in mind that he didn't have any problem talking about genocide when it came to referring to it from
Hamas. Yeah,
but
always.
referring it to Israel, that's not been proven.
Yeah.
You know? He also said that Israel have every right to not want to live next to that, and that they would continue to provide them the capabilities to defend themselves as long as that threat was real in Rafah. Now, this is in response to him being presented with the evidence that everyone saw during the Israeli attacks on the tents in Rafah. He said, and I quote, "We have to let them investigate themselves." Now, bear in mind, this same guy has come out and he said, multiple times when questioned about all these different tragedies about the food kitchen, tragedies about the £2,000 bombs that were dropped in a residential area, all these tragedies that Netanyahu and his team have come out and said, oh, it's an accident. He keeps saying we have to let Israel investigate themselves. At what point are we going to find out the details of these investigations? And do you really expect the people who are committing these atrocities to come out and say anything else? It is representative of when the police do things to black people and then there's an investigation. It's representative of when the politicians fuck up, spend all our money, spend shit on COVID, and then they say they're going to investigate themselves. And there's no accountability from the investigations. So I would just like to throw in the bin again and again and again and again and again and again the American politicians, the American government and the Israeli government for what the genocide that they are continuously committing in Gaza. It's heartbreaking, and I just don't know in what world we're going to have to be in for this to stop.
You know how it's going to go.
It's not
10 years. We're going to have one of those truth and reconciliation times.
Yeah.
And people are going to be like, I mean, we didn't know. I remember it was only 2 weeks ago, Biden was out here talking about, we got a red line.
Yeah.
Rafah is our red line.
Yeah.
There's tanks. There's been bombings.
Yes.
We've seen babies. That red line, I don't know where it disappeared to. Because if Rafah was the red line to stop things, and there has been bombings in Rafah, where's the red line?
But apparently, someone else in the White House came out and said, "Oh, it's not a full onslaught. They're not, they're not engaging in massive amounts of attack at the moment. It's very light what they're doing. So now they're saying the red line is pink. It's okay because it's light."
So you can kill hundreds of people in an area that was deemed as safe. You told folks, go here, that's safe, but we can kill you there too. Again, it's going to be 10 years. That's it. I can't see any other way. Remember, I remember when Margaret Thatcher was talking about flipping Nelson Mandela being a terrorist.
Yeah, me too.
I remember that taking place. And then the backtracking takes place as well. I remember when you couldn't really talk about apartheid in South Africa.
Yeah.
So we are going to have exactly the same thing. And we're living through it. Again, that motto of never again is always again.
It's there's no accountability. I saw that Nikki Haley, the attempt to be a Republican presidential nominee, she had the audacity, just reading it properly, to sign Israeli artillery shells with the inscription, finish them. What kind of, there's a level of evil wickedness. No, even if you're on Israel's side, even if you are, right? Do you have to be, what are you doing? Where's your mindset that you think it's okay to write the words, finish them, and have that be something...
Hold on. Finish them. America loves Israel. Always.
Yeah.
That's what she wrote.
Where's your mindset? And you were actually going to run for president. You were actually going to try and be the leader of so-called the biggest, most powerful country in the world. It's insane. And again, there's going to be no accountability.
It's the end.
Yeah, we're being ruled by horrible, motherfucking, evil, wicked, soulless people.
Are they even human?
Are they? Well, the lizards. There's a lizard story, if you believe David Icke.
Yeah, I mean, you guys said all the things, man. It's just really, really heartbreaking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Seeing those images and knowing that that's just the tip of the iceberg, that we're not even... That's what they're allowing us to see, almost, as well. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, my heart just goes out to everybody. Do you know what
Absolutely.
I mean?
We don't know.
This was
definitely
3
don't know.
days after the ICC also said that they wanted to put in arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister. 3 days later. So, they also said they have to stop all action in Rafah.
Yes.
And this is what they came back and said. And obviously they're going to come back and this is what they're going to come back and do, the Israelis, because America are standing up and saying, we reject everything that ICC are saying.
They
reject it. There's no evidence, X, Y, Z. But this is the same American government that when it came to Russia, they were like, we like it. We stand by what the ICC has said. Now they're saying the ICC has no jurisdiction.
They don't. They don't, actually.
If you've read Animal Farm, it's that.
The ICC, actually, if they even wanted to go to America, they've written it into law that they can then go and attack the ICC. They will be an enemy. They can't actually arrest, they can't do a warrant for anybody in America. And that's crazy that we are a part of this world, that America has so much power.
And why?
That they can set this tone. Because when you hold like a lot of money, this is the thing, this is the power shift. When you were the ones that everybody had to go to get everything, weapons, money, you could set all the tones in, innit?
Yeah.
I can tell you, you can't come for me.
Yeah.
But the tide is shifting, so that's when it becomes a little bit scary on the superpower front. Because nobody wants to give up their power. So generally, history has shown there has to be a big war.
So if the rulers are lawless,
Yes.
take to the streets.
This is the problem as well with this line about democracy. All the politicians keep coming out and talking about the one true democracy. How, you know, like, let's not forget, they keep banging on about the fact that Israel is a democracy. It's the only democratic country in the Middle East, the only truly democratic country in the Middle East. Meanwhile, Palestinians can't vote.
Yes.
Meanwhile, the people that are in Gaza are surrounded by walls. Okay, that they can't exit. The reason why those people are being bombed and can't move is because there's nowhere for them to go. They can't go by land, they can't go by air, they can't go by sea. Now, is that democracy? Don't sound like democracy to me. Not at all. Not even.
It's far from it.
I do want to know what the end game will be. Like, what will be the turning point?
Police annihilation is what they're after.
Like, what would be? I'd like to know what is their Achilles heel? What is the one thing that could happen that would be like, oops, my bad, let's stop.
They need to stop being funded by the US.
Yeah.
That's the one thing.
What's the thing for the US? Like, what could be like? Do you know what, guys?
They need to stop being funded by the US. Sorry, I was just.
I was just gonna say that they need to find resources in another country, and then they'll focus their they'll focus their energies
Not only
there.
that, sanctions need to be imposed on Israel. That's what actually needs to happen. The whole reason why the apartheid system in South Africa fell is because people stopped doing business with them.
Yeah.
Money fucking talks.
That's the part.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
America led that, didn't they?
But fuck America. Who cares?
I get that, but I'm just
my
saying,
point is there's more countries in the world that can do that shit.
Yeah.
It's not
If
just
they do.
America.
No,
I get that. I know.
It wasn't America that actually like ended the apartheid. It was
Not
every.
us
It was
led it. They
every.
led it.
No, they didn't lead. They were literally backing
They just
it
done a
They
song
were.
until it
They
ended.
done a big
Yeah.
song.
Let's not forget.
It was everybody else.
Episode that made me think that.
Yeah, no, everybody else needs to get on board and really be like, no, we are not dealing with you guys. And also, we are not dealing with America. We need China to flex and be like, okay, we're ready now.
Yeah.
And for them to be like, we're not dealing with America.
Yeah.
So
That's when shit
But
will
not
change.
only China, we also need the other Arab nations that are surrounding
come together.
Palestine to come together.
Yeah.
And to say, we're not doing business with you lot no more. You're not using us no more. No oil. You know, like my man said, no water, no power, no nothing. No oil for you lot.
No oil.
Yeah?
If
Nothing.
Saudi did that, the whole world would change. But that's
telling
why
you.
they started to ingratiate themselves with Saudi Arabia as well.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing. They set these
Try to set
things in
as
place.
allies up. So Spain, Ireland, and Norway have formally recognised a Palestinian state. So it's like everyone else needs to follow suit.
Yeah, that's small. You need
more,
like
I'm saying
Germany
more.
to jump on there.
Germany aren't never going to do it. Germany are going to be one of the last men standing. Germany and America, last men standing.
Let's keep an eye. Auntie Sade, who's your enemy of progress?
Okay, to switch it up a bit more light, bit more lit, one might say. Do you know what I mean? Okay, Nicki Minaj has been touring. She's on a world tour. She's done America. She's now in Europe, you know. And while she's in Europe, she went to Amsterdam. You know, just I think she done a show there.
Yeah.
You know what Amsterdam's known for. You know,
Tulips.
What is it?
Tulips.
tulips,
And
definitely
clogs.
tulips,
And
clogs,
Weed.
Windmills?
bingo. Well
Weed.
done, 10 points.
You're so
Nana.
Thank you.
clever.
I know. No humility.
No, Nicki Minaj was in the airport trying to fly to the UK to do her show in Manchester, yeah?
Yeah.
To be fair, I don't know the life of a pop star, rap star, whatever. Cutting it a little bit fine, in my opinion. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, so she's there in the airport, and then she gets stopped by the airport police, and the airport police are like, "Yeah, we're searching your luggage, babe." Do you know what I mean? She's just like, no, you're not. And they're like, yes, we are. Do you know what I mean? So they go back and forth on this, and literally they seized her luggage, searched it, and they said apparently there were some, like some funny cigarettes.
Pre-rolls.
Pre-rolls as well.
Yeah, in her luggage. She did say on her live, so she was doing this on live as well.
Yeah.
They're not mine, they're my securities. And I thought, I felt a moment for all the securities that have to gone down for the person that they protected.
He's gone. He's gone down and gone. Like, it's actually out of order.
You know what I mean? I think so, because she's like, it's not mine.
Yeah.
I didn't consent you to look at my luggage, all this stuff. Do you know what I mean? But the guy, she thinks that her enemies are after her.
Did she send out a text? Send money. My enemies are after me.
She actually thinks her money. And maybe they are, but that is my kind of question. I don't know. Do you think that the Amsterdam airport police, do you think that they are the enemy? Do you think her enemies are after her and paid them to be her enemy? Do you know what I mean? Or do you think this is one big misunderstanding?
I just think you left pre-rolls in your bag, fam, and you forgot to take them out. It's very, very simple.
You think what? So Nicki is the enemy of progress for the people in Manchester that couldn't go to.
I just think the situation is there were pre-rolls in your bag and you forgot them.
I'm just going to add, this caused, so she was arrested for maybe 5 hours or something. So this caused such a delay that the Manchester concert was actually cancelled. Yeah. So all those people that came in, they were actually in the space. They was told to leave. Do you know what I mean? People had paid, flown from Ireland, all this kind of stuff.
What's annoying, is that her people didn't tell them before. Because look at the timeline. She was arrested. You weren't making the concert. Why did your people not inform all those thousands of people who were going to your concert before?
So it's Nicki's team.
It was time for you to take to the stage.
I believe, beehivers, not beehivers.
No.
Wrong ones.
They're barbs.
Barbs and your barbed wire. Listen.
And Barbie.
Mother Nicki made a faux pas. No, I call it because barbs say they're vicious. I gave it
No. It's for Barbie.
I get it, but I'd like to add a metaphor to it.
Okay.
Barbs.
Okay, carry on.
Okay. You're changing the meaning.
What do barbs do in comments? Because they're going to come for us.
They're going to come for you.
I believe that Mother Nicki made a faux pas, forgot her pre-rolls, and that was it. It's not bigger than that. So she could slightly be the enemy for not checking your stuff before you leave, especially if you know.
Don't check.
It's not her job to check her bag.
I mean, well, sometimes you know what?
I tell you,
not every day be.
So she pays someone for that.
Who's the enemy?
It's someone.
I tell you who's the
Not
enemy
every day
for me.
be so disconnected.
It's her team. And I know that might sound a bit controversial,
Right.
but it's her team because she don't pack her suitcase. You think Nicki is sitting down in front of her suitcase, folding things and packing? She's not doing that.
Yeah.
She's not doing that. It is somebody's job to check her luggage, okay? It's that person's job. It's also somebody's job to inform the concert goers that you're not going to be at a concert.
So it's Nicki's team, not
No,
Nicki.
her enemies got her, for real. They got her.
You think her enemies got her?
She needed to send out an alert. There are enemies,
Maybe
isn't it?
her enemies
Her enemies are
There's
in her
so many.
team. Her enemies got her
bring her
arrested.
down.
Her enemy, they had to refund tickets. Her enemies lost her money.
Oh, it's
Her
someone that
enemies.
shouted at Mother Nicki.
I don't
necessarily
want the
her
blame
fault.
to be on her.
Blaming her.
Her enemies.
I think it's her team.
Yeah. Yeah, she
Maybe
has
there's
an
a
enemy in
snake.
her team.
Yeah, maybe there's a snake in her team, but it's definitely someone that works for her.
So
Definitely somebody that works for her.
Oh, man.
Because I reckon
What
they
they
must.
were
Hang on. I feel like someone within her team tipped off the security.
Yes. I'm saying.
It is her team. She needs to do some investigating.
Because really and
Drake.
truly, let's be real, yeah? So many celebrities pass through that airport, yeah? I'm not saying that they're lax on purpose or anything like that, but it is a bit like we're talking about maybe one pack of pre-roll, weed, cigarette. Seriously, is this enough to detain her? Do you know what I mean?
For 5 hours.
For how many hours? Knowing that she's got a concert. Couldn't she go and the luggage stay? I don't know, like maybe it was someone else.
Did you pack the suitcase?
Yeah,
surely she should have just said
yeah,
no.
she did. Yeah, I'm
but
pretty sure.
She was shouting no as she was talking.
Yeah,
She said the luggage was out of my sight and you guys took it. I don't know what has taken place. Her enemies got her.
Or they maybe planted it.
I think the enemies are on her team.
Oh,
Yeah.
I really do.
Okay, enemies.
She's been talking about the enemies coming for her. She said that they didn't want her to do the tour.
She does say a lot, and she is quite problematic.
Free Nicki.
You know, free.
And she was
I mean, she is
and
free.
she's okay. She didn't do
She
very,
is.
she didn't do time,
is,
guys.
But all the people, all the fans that,
That's sad.
do you know what I
She's gonna make it
mean?
up to them.
She's gonna like do another concert. They're just waiting with Live Nation when that's gonna be. So if the people are able to make it, do you know what I mean? Then
That's if
they'll
Nicki's
go.
free.
Nana.
Okay.
Yeah. No, she's gonna do it. She's gonna do it.
She's going to stay around for longer.
Yeah,
to
or
do-
she'll come back and she'll do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bad.
All right, guys, who are we welcoming to the family? You go first, Nana.
Okay, all right. So there has been a video that has gone around this week, and it's a brilliant one for what the people did. So I am welcoming the girl that we saw advocating for the woman in the underground who there was he says he is IDF soldier, pulled off her hijab, and there was a black girl that was absolutely ripping him a new asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she is a welcome. I wish her name was out there so that we
Yeah.
could say what her name is. But thank you for standing up
Yeah.
for this lady who was assaulted. And then I love this guy.
Yeah.
That when it was getting a little bit tetchy and she had to tell the IDF guy, look, step away from me because I am an MF fighter, like I will MMA fighter, I will come for you. A black man came from nowhere. So there was a transport person there.
did try.
I feel he was a
tried.
bit lily-livered.
He was lily
But he
livered.
did
I love a
try.
like it was lily livered. He was a bit like move away, but then the black guy came in and he was wearing all black and he just pushed him away and told him like I'll bust you up.
Yeah.
I love it. He said, oh, what are you doing? I'll bang you up, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll bang you up, you know. I know, like, move, get over there.
there.
I loved it.
It was great.
I loved it.
Sent him to the
Sent him on his
police.
way.
Like it wasn't long and the police came and that guy was arrested. But I love that both of them really like stepped up to the plate and they ended that assault it was great. It's like it's not often you see that in London transport. Two people, black folk, really looking after another black woman as well. So yes, they are welcome to the family.
Absolutely.
I just wish I knew their names, but
Yeah.
yes, we celebrate you. Well done.
It was a moment. Okay. Auntie Shada, who are you welcoming to the family?
Okay, so I'm welcoming to the family Raheem Sterling. We do love it, Raheem.
Local.
He is funding 14 university places through a new scholarship for black students. And these are 14 students that are going to be at Manchester or King's College, London. And this is to obviously like improve social mobility, all that kind of good stuff as well. And yeah, I just think it's a really cool thing. I love to see,
Love him.
our entertainment and sports stars giving back to the community.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
This is nice.
It means a lot.
Yeah.
It is really good.
I just want to welcome Tems because she did a wonderful performance at Radio 1 Big Weekend. And it was just cute. She's amazing. She's cute. And she's finally, I didn't even realise this, she's releasing her debut album on the 7th of June. And she'll be performing at Coachella. She just did really well.
I have an album out already. Like a
No.
couple years ago.
No, it's
Serious?
Songs?
It's just songs.
Oh,
Yeah, she's written-
Oh, she had an album.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was like, her debut. And she's written for Beyonce, Rihanna, and other
She's won a
such
Grammy.
people.
Wait, hasn't
Beyonce.
Coachella happened?
Yeah.
Yes.
Coachella was like in
Performed at
April.
Coachella.
Maybe she
we
performed
spoke
there
about
already.
it.
Yeah.
No,
Justin
next year.
Bieber.
Sorry, 2025. My bad.
Okay, she's
Okay,
headlining
but she,
then.
but she was
headlined.
there as well.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was
No, she's
there,
performing.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's performing in 2025. Sorry.
Oh,
No, I love her.
that's
Yeah,
lovely.
Very
Big
cute.
up.
Yeah.
Yes, I would like to welcome to the family Auntie Viola Davis.
Always.
Well, why? So there's this ad on Instagram, some of you may have seen it, and it's about hair oils and you can grow your hair from this to this. And they've got Auntie Viola Davis saying, look at me, I'm 58 and I never thought I'd have hair this long. Basically, it's an AI generated advert and they've put her face on someone else's body and they've actually AI generated her voice and everything. But why I'm welcoming her is because she's seen this and she posted it on her Instagram page and she said, this is not me. My team are aware, but this is not me. And I just loved it because mostly people don't tend to do that. They just like let things go by. But she wanted to let us black women know that don't get scammed by this thing. It's not my hair. She actually said, I wish I knew where the woman got her oil
Honestly.
from.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I'm welcoming her.
And she used her own meme, didn't she?
She did. She used her own meme to cuss them.
Picking up
It
the
was
bag
great.
one, like, guys,
Yeah.
come on.
I love her.
Me too.
We love her.
I like how she runs her page as
Yeah,
well.
she's good.
Like
Because
sharing
she
bits.
runs it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, I commend even if it's a team, but
know.
I love how they do their page.
It's a good representation of her.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Real.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into Aunties Know Best and get into your juicy, crazy dilemmas. First one, we need to do a PSA, right, guys? We want to let all of you know that being an auntie is not a disrespectful term. And those of you who are scared about being called an auntie, you do not need to be. So basically, on social media, it seems that being auntie has become a bit of a problem. For instance, on Cocktails and Takeaways Instagram, there was a post kind of mocking the idea of being called an auntie at 34. And additionally, Natalie Leona, I think she's a PR person, shared her thoughts about approaching her 40s and expressing that she doesn't feel old or like a typical old school auntie. So this made me want to get us aunties, your aunties could never specifically, to let you guys know that being an auntie is a badge of honour. You got to earn your stripes to be an auntie, and it's something that you should look forward to, and it's a respected title. The reason why we exist is kind of to reset and reframe what being an auntie is, because it's not like the old school aunties that potentially kind of seen or assumed to be fuddy-duddy, not with it. We four represent a very different type of auntie. And I think I just wanted to get you guys to speak on, specifically, when did you step into your auntiedom? When was it? What was the moment or the situation that made you like, yeah, man, I'm proud to be an auntie?
I mean, my oldest nephew's like 33. So I've been an auntie a long time. I'm actually a great auntie.
Yeah.
Not only am I actually really a great auntie, but I'm a great auntie. So I don't know, like for me, I'm actually proud to be an auntie in real life and in this space too. I think you're absolutely right. Like when people use the word auntie, it does come with a negative connotation, which is why we are your aunties could never.
Ever.
Ever. Because people have to rethink about the way that it's used. Like, let's not use it negatively. Like it can be, especially how we're presenting it anyway, a form of still guiding people, but not in a way where we're old school trying to be all up in your business, telling you what to do. Like, let's remove that negative connotation. Let's, respect it. We are older. We are slightly wiser, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that we're dead in the water. I rebuke the idea. I reject the idea that when you get to 40, you should shrivel up and die.
Exactly.
It's flipping crazy.
It's mad.
I think similarly, I had between me and my first nephew is months.
Yeah.
So I've been an auntie practically all my life. But when it stepped in, I probably was like 14 with my niece, little Nana. So we would move together, and all of my friends, they knew my little Nana was there as well. So it was like the two of us together. And I celebrate this title. Yeah. Like it is, I have friends before we did this who would call me Auntie Nana because there is a wisdom that I came to this earth with to share with people, and I care. And I think that's the role that an auntie has. It is that space of caring about other people and imparting wisdom, which we do on this every week, day in, day out. And that shouldn't be poo-pooed, and you shouldn't be scared when you get to 30. Like, I always think 20 years from now, I'm going to wish I'm here. I'm going to wish I'm in my 40s and I will not have this vitality again. So each time you age, it should be celebrated. It's like, this is a moment in time. It's fabulous. We don't care. When you get to that stage when you're not thinking about what the next person thinks about you, because you're like, I know who I am, that should be celebrated. So I wish all the women stepped into their truth, their wisdom, and they shared it unapologetically like we do. Because truly, those aunties that were back in the day, some of them were fucking haters.
Yeah.
And so I understand the kind of like, I don't want to be an auntie, but just redefine it. That's what we're doing. We don't have to be haters. We can be celebrated.
Yeah, all of that. I do think, though, that conversation with Madam Joyce and B. Simone was very interesting because they put that auntie is from 34, which I think is incorrect. I think, like...
Let's establish.
Auntie,
what's the age?
I think 40s.
Okay.
I think when you get to your 40s, that's when you actually become an auntie, just because you've lived a long enough time to actually... if you're smart somebody, to gather some wisdom,
I can back
some
that.
knowledge, something. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think that you should gone through a couple of the traditional stages of life, personality,
Heartbreak.
all that. Yeah, do you know what I mean? All of those kind of things. So I think 40 is a good age. But I do also as well, like, I get it, because like we live in this society where like age and youth and all this kind of thing and beauty and all that kind of stuff, it's all tied in together. So there's very negative connotations about, do you know what I mean, being older, especially older before your time as well. So I get it. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not like angry at them or anything like that. But yeah, I agree. Like I think like being an auntie as someone who doesn't have children as well, like that is probably one of my most important roles that I perform. I would say in this lifetime. And I feel like, but I have the best of both worlds because, you know, I get to dip in the child urine and dip back out again. Do you know what I mean? So like, yeah, for me, it's like that. And also as well, like I like to think I represent a certain type of auntie. Do you know what I mean? That's for, let's go bougie, because you know, crisis and all that. Because he lives, do you know what I mean? So yeah, definitely bougie type, do you know what I mean? And like, you know, I feel like I've been able to, definitely the young people, not all the ones necessarily related to me as well, kind of thing. Yeah. Just like people who have, you know, who I've worked with or just like come across, like, you know, just trying to enrich their lives and just trying to, you know, just show them another way, an alternative. And like, yeah, you don't have to think how your parents think. You don't have to, you can make choices, critically think about what you're saying, what you're doing, all of that kind of stuff as well. And I feel like being an auntie has allowed me to do that. And yeah, I've been an auntie before I was born, to be honest. You know what I mean? My family's that big and old. But yeah, so I haven't really had a choice in the matter there. But like, yeah, definitely one of my the best part. If I was to die tomorrow, like definitely, that's probably one of the most fulfilling parts of my life.
Two moments. It's definitely, the first was when my oldest sister became a parent, and my niece Cherise, I named her, and I remember she used to cry consistently, never stopped crying. But we got to a moment where I was babysitting her, and I managed to Ghana wrap her on my back and have that bond where you're going to go to sleep and she's going to sleep on me. And it was a thing because she only wanted her mum. And I felt that real sense. I was a teenager in them days. I was still in school, maybe the last years of my middle school. And it was just such a sense of responsibility. And the second time was when my sister passed away, when my second sister passed away from a sickle cell. And stepping in and being a safe space for my oldest niece, with her children, it was such a responsibility that I just took without even thinking. It's like, I'm going to be there for these kids. She's got 3 children, be there for them whenever I could. And just being that shoulder, that arm, that safe space for my niece to kind of manage her feelings. And even up until today, when they're still navigating as they grow older, how they navigate being without a mum, being there is so important for me. And I just think that aunties provide support to families, like to mothers and fathers when they can't be there or when they're in times of struggle. That auntie space, that thing where our nieces and nephews and extended family, whether blood related or not, can come to us and lean on us for advice, a safe space, some food. Do you know what I mean? It's that open door type thing for those who choose to auntie. I just love it. And I love, especially being in the industry as well, I don't mind being the auntie of the industry. I don't mind when actors and creatives are like, oh, Auntie AK or whatever. I love that because I feel it gives me a sense of, not validation, because I am a mother as well, so I had that validation through my daughter. But when people are like coming to you, and in times of being insecure and like, am I doing things right? But when someone's like, no, someone said this to me today. She said, you're actually mentoring me. And I'm like, I don't even know, because I think my life is blowing up. But they're like, no, I'm learning so much from you. And it's just those things that kind of become quite self-validating, especially when times are rough. So I think the auntie space is just not to be sniffed at, as we've all said. I do get being maybe 34 and be like, bro, I'm not no auntie. But I think it's the first stages. If you're stepping into your auntie, just know start preparing what type of auntie you're going to be. Maybe that's what it is. You're not maybe there yet. I agree with it being 40. 34 might be a bit young to have people like, yo,
so we're
auntie.
Establishing 40.
Absolutely.
I think 40s is the beginning.
Yeah, because I think like, I remember being like 34, and really putting a lot of pressure on myself in terms of like where I was in my life, what had I achieved at that point. And I aged myself up. I really did. Like, do you know what I mean? And I just think like, relax. Man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's nah. You got time. You really do.
You know what?
And
You're
that
so
hindsight.
right.
Yeah,
You're
that
so
hindsight
right.
At 40 is amazing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because you've all said it, you know, like in your 40s, you genuinely don't give a fuck. Like, I am who I am. This is me. And you're happy with it, you know?
Yeah.
And you're at a stage probably in your personal life as well, like career, where you're happy. You know, you've kind of like done all the shit jobs that you would have maybe done and put up with some of the shit that you have put up with. And I'm never going to do that again.
Yeah.
You make decisions faster you know, in your 40s. So I definitely agree that it is 40s, but I do think it is a foundation that's built in your 30s.
Yes.
And it's not a negative thing. Like, you don't, this idea, and I'll say it again, this idea that you need to shrivel up and start wearing plastic bin bags like when you're 40.
Shopping
it's
in-
not the case. It's not the case. Like,
Or be scared.
Or be scared, or you know.
You know, ankle length skirts. and-
Nah, that's not it.
All right, so
But you say that
says
though,
look
but
after
so
yourself.
many people do have. Do you know what I mean?
I was literally about to say, remember, it weren't too long ago, I came here talking about, look, I've always wanted, I can't even say it now, I've always wanted a velour tracksuit.
Yeah.
And I was like, they put them back out again.
Yeah.
And I didn't get one in my 20s. And can I do it now? And you all told me to do it. I went back on the page and I looked and I was like, I
God you
can't do it. I know, exactly, because the guy. But like when I'm shopping, there is a level of like, I can't dress how I did when I was 20. Like I sometimes I feel like I can do that. I can age myself in a way.
I think that's okay.
I think that's okay, but I also think it's part of how your body is.
Yeah.
Like, I know in my head, my body's not what it was, like even 10 years ago. I'm not there. So the shorter skirts, and that's not because I'm in my 40s, I can't wear them. It's because I can't wear them. Yeah?
I mean, I do. Still.
And that's because
And short.
But you've got good legs though. Not everyone's got good legs.
Thanks. Say it again, Anna.
Wait, like my legs were always like something I have out there.
too.
I'm not about having my legs outside no more, you know.
I
Trust
confess,
me.
My daughter made my bum become. So like, I can't do what I used to do. I used to wear itty bitties, but I think now anything I put on that's very it's just a lot. So I think there is an element of self-censoring, but
Yeah.
I definitely believe I had more toned thighs. It's a body thing for me.
it.
You would
and
do
I don't,
it.
Yeah, and but again, my style has changed. I've got my own style that I love. I just don't wear certain things because I don't like the way certain parts of me look in certain things. If I did, you lot.
Don't get me
I have
wrong,
a question.
When I go to the Caribbean, I wear whatever.
Yeah.
fuck I want.
Oh, that's
out of the country.
You know
it's
what?
different.
Honestly, on holiday, bun everyone in it.
all day long.
But I have a question because, like, Honourable Auntie Marianne put out there on her Twitter on X, like, don't call me Auntie.
Yeah.
Because young people seem to use it as a bit of a slur. So she's like, only my family can call me Auntie. And that's a sentiment I generally see from Americans way more than I think us over here. Like, don't call me Auntie.
Okay.
But what do you guys think about that? Like, what is that steeped in? Why do people have that? Like, don't call me Auntie. I'm not your auntie.
Because I think it's the disrespect that comes with it. It's like, if you're calling me auntie because you're dismissing my opinions, my views and my values because you think I'm old and it's just that, then you're disrespecting. It's a way of like saying, oh, shut up, Auntie, what do you know? So if you're calling me auntie in that tone, piss off. But I don't have a problem. Like I said, the work that I do, young talents that I work with or come across, if they feel the need to call me auntie, I have no problem with it. But it's just the intonation of it.
I think, do you know what it is? You know, in Black Panther, where Michael,
Hey, Auntie.
yeah, is that character. It's that. That's what they don't want, because you're gonna come and take my things, and you take the piss. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, basically, don't take
It's
the piss.
taking the, like, don't take the piss.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? But like, I mean, different. That's the thing as well. I think like, depending on how you're brought up as well, kind of thing. We was brought up around a lot of different people in terms of like, my dad had a congregation of people and everyone was auntie.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so that was very normal. And like, I feel like I was waiting for my turn to be auntie.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
like,
yeah.
seriously,
Respect,
it's just like, that's, was definitely a pillar.
You know
It's
what?
culturally respect.
That is actually, that's the truth, because now I see, like, you know, the passage of time to be the ones that provide the food in the party.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't like all of that because I don't really like cooking. But there is a level of respect and reverence that I gave my aunties that could turn the party out. Like, they come with their food, it's great. There is a bit of like, oh my God, I can't wait to be that auntie that is the one where people are like, Auntie Nana, can you make me? Like, that's the, you know, there's a thing.
In theory, but practically never.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
But
I love it. I have such a great relationship with my nieces.
Yeah.
It's amazing. They'll come and they'll hang out with me. They choose to hang out with me. You know, my niece is like, oh my God, can you cook? You make the best food. Like, it's great. Like, I you know, come and spend weekends, whatever. And I remember that was me. I would die to go to my auntie's house. I would say to my mum all the time, can I not just go and stay there?
Yeah.
I do. Like, I love it. It's great.
Guys, don't be screwed.
Don't be screwed.
it's a big moment, but maybe that's what they're scared of. It's the big shoes that you need to step into.
Okay, and also that manage your expectations. Just prep. But it's freedom. Post-40 is freedom in some aspects. Let's get into your dilemma.
Yeah. So, you know, like sometimes I'll be on the internet scrolling and a post will just catch my eye, and one did, funnily enough. Vivica Fox, man. We remember Vivica Fox.
Yeah.
You know what pops into my mind because she dated 50 Cent. That's like, I always just remember that about her. And she was on a TV show, Hoda and Jen on a TV show. And she was talking about dating. Mind you, Vivica is 59.
Yeah.
59 years old.
I was
She
surprised
does not
to
look
hear
it
that she
at
was
all.
59.
Seriously.
I wouldn't have thought that.
And she was talking about that she wants to date again, and she's ready to settle down. She's finally ready to settle down. She wants to meet someone in person because she basically doesn't want to get on apps because people make up stories and that sort of thing. And I wanted to know, to mainly the singletons, but Nana, think, you know, like if that could potentially
I can go back to when I was a single.
Yeah. Or maybe create a character.
Yeah.
So singletons, are you happy to wait until your 60s to settle down? That's my first question. Do you know what I mean?
I didn't know that was coming.
Is that funny?
Yeah, I didn't know it was coming.
No, that's
I didn't know it was the question.
That's my first question. And my second question, if you were single at that age, at 59, 60, whatever, do you imagine that you would still be actively looking for love?
Brethren.
Okay, I'll start.
Yeah.
I hope and I pray that I'm not going to be 59 out here looking for someone.
Soon.
Like, it's got to happen soon. Like, real talk. I want to be able to, and that's not, okay. That's not to say that at 59 you still can't enjoy your time and with your partner, especially we're all living longer and stuff like that, yeah. But I want to start that sooner. I do. Like, I don't want to be on my own. Like, when my daughter grows up and she's off doing her own thing, I'm just there, like, with the cat. And I don't even have a cat yet. Like, you know, I don't want that to be me. Like, I do want companionship. You don't need to live with me. You can have your own yard. But, you know, I would like a partner to do stuff with, even if it's just like to travel and to catch joke with. And
that's what she
That's
said
what
she was
Vivica
after.
was
that's
saying.
what I mean. Have those kind of experiences. But to answer your question, I don't want to wait. But if I'm at that age, it's not like I'm going to say, that's it. I haven't reached there yet. I haven't fulfilled those goals. I think I would still be open to it.
Yeah? Okay.
I don't want to be 59 and still figuring it out. I'm not waiting to 59 for sure. So yeah, I'm same. I think exactly what you said. I don't have much to say on it. I'm not waiting specifically. I would like to know what was her thing? Why did she say that she's finally ready?
Because
Is it
50 ruined her.
No, I understand. She got really brokenhearted from.
She said that he was the love of her life.
Yeah. She was very like, she really wanted to get back. She even said, I'll get back to him if possible.
She did.
Back with him. So I understand ultimate heartbreak, and someone can waste your years
Too long, though.
draining your energy, and then you've got to fix yourself and be prepared. So maybe if that's what it was, the journey to recovery, and now she's like, I am finally ready and within myself, mind, body, soul, to present myself to somebody else. I get it. I hope my healing takes quicker. I would not like to still be single in that capacity by 59. And yeah, I'd like a companion for sure.
I know.
If you were
Literally, I'm like, what do I even add to? Okay, so let's say
You got friends.
You know, life happens, innit? Like, I got a divorce, whatever, and I'm back out there. Like, touch all of the
Did you
wood.
see me? I went like that.
Yes, that doesn't take place. I would probably approach it in the similar way that she is, like being absolutely open and ready, and I'd be after companionship. Everything she said, yeah, I understand, but it feels a little bit... I felt it was a bit sad watching, like, I'm ready now. That kind of hurt my heart a little bit. Like, honestly, so all of these years you were still kind of working on a heartbreak, and especially if it's 50 Cent. Like,
Oh, but he's supposed to be an amazing partner.
I mean,
I
was
really
horrible to
don't
her,
think
then.
anything
wasn't
should
horrible
ever
to her. She
take
said she
that
wasn't.
long.
he wasn't.
He said he wasn't.
It's years. Like, he was with Cuban Link for years. Like,
Yeah, he
that's
was.
too long to be
Yeah.
over a heartbreak from some man. Like, honestly. So I wish her the best. And yeah, I would seize the day, and I'd go for
Carpe
it.
diem,
Yeah.
as you say.
Yes.
You're not going to answer?
No, I was going to answer.
Yeah.
I mean, when she finished,
Are you gonna wait for 50s?
definitely not. I don't think I would actively be looking either. Do you know what I mean? No,
What, you'd give up?
not give up. And I think there's a better phrase. Like, I'm just not interested.
We'd all give up.
No, but I don't think I'm not actively looking now.
That's
Yeah,
Like, do you know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
what I'm saying.
like,
So
yeah, just
would be
like
as
it'll just
normal.
be a continuation
Of the-
of like, yeah, just living, existing without centering men. That's that got all feministy.
Oh,
Me too.
yeah. We need comments on this one. 'Cause-
Is anyone surprised?
That's kind
No,
of.
I am a little.
Yeah, really.
Because
No,
it's
I
10
think-
years. It's over 10 years away. It's a long
years.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 20 years.
No, more than 20. What? Yeah.
All right. So 20 years
Over.
in this space.
Yeah.
You could run with that.
Yeah. I think I'm good, you know.
She's
I actually think I'm good. Like, I just don't have those.
I believe it.
not even just
I'm
a
not
little
even phased.
companion. All right,
Not everybody is.
She didn't say fuck buddy.
a companion. No, I'm talking about, yeah,
I
if.
don't know. Like, I'm really like, I'm just
Like once
not
every few years.
not really interested.
Serious?
Yeah, like I just.
Shit. But say if
Yeah.
you live until 120.
I mean, I think I'll be good, you know.
Other things to occupy her.
Honestly,
But you know what?
I do,
I
and I'll have a
I
couple
do.
of cats.
Do you know what? I actually, I hear that because everyone seems to think that you do need
I will.
companionship. Some people don't necessarily
We're
need it.
humans.
No,
No, but you can have companionship in different ways.
ways.
But like, I don't want to be attached to a guy. Like, I just don't think like what I want is actually possible. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
And I'm reconciled with that. Do you know what I mean? So if it some miracle, some alternate universe, some dark matter situation, and I can transform and go in a different path, and that happened, because I think it would take that.
But what do you want?
Like, oh, we can't get into that now.
One.
But like
one element of what you want.
a kind man.
No, come on. You're saying there's no kind men out there.
That's possible.
No, it's not a better thing.
That's what I had to ask.
No, you have to. No, I'm being absolutely real.
Yeah.
A
Right.
lot of men out there are not kind.
That's fair.
Like, seriously,
Yeah.
and a lot of men that approach me are not kind. So like, I can't. That is very real for me. So
Okay,
I will not
fair
have
enough.
it minimized. Thank you.
Okay, so you want a kind, that's fundamental, a kind man.
Kind man, yeah. That is number.
Do you know how many
number
women
one.
say that as number one? It's so true because
I think it is the
and
number
does,
one though, yeah.
But it does stem from the fact that experiences that we've had, men aren't necessarily kind, and that makes you go into life feeling like, if I could just have someone who's kind. So many women say that, it's unbelievable. I see all these people talking, all these women talking about what they want, and that is number one on their list, you know. Even though men want to think that it's money and power and all this stuff, it isn't. People
Yeah.
just want someone who's kind. And kindness means, like, you know, being truthful.
Nice.
Kindness comes with all these things.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
But that's one.
Yeah, that's
So
one
there's
thing.
Okay,
Yeah,
there's
I
a
mean,
whole load
Yeah,
more.
of course, but I can see what you're doing. But
They could be
like,
out there.
Nana's making it.
You know
Because a kind man comes
your
along,
profile.
he may be like 5'2".
Saved by the alarm, bro.
I don't think that's going to happen because height is going to be on her list somewhere too.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to build, isn't it?
Yeah, but you know some of these things, of course. Like, it's not just one thing.
I think the person is out there.
You think? I love that you think that. I really do. And like, there are, there's a couple people in my life that they're praying, they're doing their daily prayers.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
I don't think it's going to take
there are a couple
15.
people.
No, I think somebody's coming.
I think
honestly,
I'm not surprised by your answer. And that's not to say that I don't see that you could be with someone. I definitely do. But I am not surprised by your answer. And I think that people need to respect those choices as well. Do you know? I'm not saying you're not, but I think people need to respect those choices. Because there is this opinion that women should be married and have children and all that stuff. And it's not. If you're happy in the life that you're building for yourself, with the family that you have and the nieces, the nephews and all this stuff and the career that you're building, there is something to be said in that, you know? There's satisfaction in that. There's fulfillment in that.
I think, and I have always experienced this with like Mandy, who I always talk about from Horrible Decisions.
Oh, yeah.
She has a similar pessimistic stance. It's the pessimism of
pessimistic?
The person isn't there, or it would take, I don't know, 1,000 blue moons for that person to show up. That's what does something to my heart.
But it's not like I'm pining or waiting or like,
It's not
I don't
that.
have the expectation.
I get it.
Do you know what I mean?
That's
I don't
what
have
hurts
that.
my heart in a way, because it's like I truly believe the fundamentals of a goodness in most human beings.
But I think...
And so when it's like a fundamental is a nice person, there are nice men out there. Now, they may not hit all of the spots, but to be like that person couldn't come in 10 years. It's just like,
No, but it's
I
just
think
like...
there's a reality to what... This is, when we had this conversation about us kind of jokingly silencing you as a married woman, but it's that being on as it were...
It's not a joke, it happens.
No, I'm saying jokingly, like not really silencing you. It's like,
It's the truth.
Do you feel silent?
Yes, it's not a joke.
Maybe I'm saying it wrong, that the intention isn't to absolutely obliterate your input.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, as people living in ground zero, as it were, it is very hard.
Zero.
I'm not...
Like, I repeat
Okay,
that.
all right.
Sorry, please.
He's so upset.
That's my point. I'm not there.
No,
like
it was also a joke as well. I'm just
Okay.
saying ground zero.
I get what you're saying, but it like misinterprets where I am, and like
No, I'm just saying
definitely
that the
not
world
there.
out there is grotty, right? And singledom is grotty, whether you're in it or not, like if you want it or not. I'm just saying that out there, it's kind of like a bit of a war zone when it comes to finding a decent human being to partner up with. So the perspective where you actually have to intentionally, just by default or whatever, just be like, do you know what? There's a way of preparing myself to actually understand that this is life. This is how it's going to be, and I have to make peace with that. That this is my thing. Like, I do actively want a partner, but there's also an element like, if that doesn't happen, am I going to sit there and have this kind of sadness to my life that it never happened? Or am I going to figure out a way to exist on this earth like, this didn't happen for me, but I'm appreciating my friends, I'm appreciating my family, the business that I've created, the legacy that I've left. How do we, especially as women who are so expected to be in a relationship and expected to have a partner, how do we exist on this earth without it being like or people disbelieving that this is actually what you want and that you're comfortable with? I think that's the part where it's a bit like, the sadness I feel, I understand, but then those are the things that kind of can feel like people are sad for you, or then it makes some people might question like, okay, it imposes a sadness on them. I'm not saying that your feeling is wrong.
You have to be strong in what you're after. What I will say to you a lot of the time, it's like, you have to have conviction in what you want. And for all of my friends that have been single for a moment, a time, a couple of years, and once they stepped into what they are after and become it, because you can't attract what you're not, it happens. And so that's all I can say. That literally is what I did. It was a list. I've said it before. My friend was like, what do you want? I just happened to be young. I wrote it all out. And he was like, you could do that, but you're too amenable. You always like, oh no, but they didn't call, you're amenable, so you have to change. Coming from a man, it just struck me like, shit, I didn't even think I was amenable, but it hit me, and I got lucky, I changed very quickly, and then Russell came. So that's all I can say. It's literally like, I can see when you're like, oh, but they did this, or and it's that wishy state, vibrationally, it's like, yeah, then that's what you're going to get. And that's all I can say. And it is like, yeah, but it's easy for you, and for real. But that's like a rich person, innit? When they talk to you and it's like, it's easy for you. And it's
Rishi
like,
Sunak,
yeah,
mate.
for real. Because, so that's where it goes to. But it isn't, I don't honestly think that my opinions are poo-pooed, but they can be from time to time. But literally, I'm just sharing. That's what I've seen.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I'm happy, man.
The word actively is funny to me though. That you know you said you're actively. Like what are you actively doing? You're actively looking
Thank
for-
you. Go on, question.
No, but I'm just, because I don't say actively. I say I'm open.
Oh, that might have a faux pas because I'm not actively.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
focused on sorting out my business at the moment. That's fact.
But that's fair though, isn't it?
No, it
Like,
is. That's totally fair because for me, that's what I'm open. And I know that sometimes some people might be like, well, what are you actually doing?
Yeah.
I'm just open because there's been a
Yeah, the
lot
word
of times in
open.
the past. I think I'm open now. I haven't been open,
okay.
You know.
But how are they going to find you?
but that's it. I don't know. That's why I won't say actively.
The thing is, though, bringing it back to the dilemma, like you could sit in that state for 10,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
exactly.
If this is something that you want, then you need to become more active.
I'm open.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
that's the
mean?
thing,
But
yeah.
at the
To
same
have it.
time,
Obviously, you will be 59.
I'm
Yeah,
open.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But if that's not the path that is set for me, then so be it. But I'm open.
No, but
Yeah.
that's the truth.
I mean,
We could be here all
Go
day.
on dating sites. It's not happening.
No, but like
even
maybe,
Vivica's not on there.
yeah, she says she doesn't want to do that.
That's Vivica.
But I guess you kind of put it out there to even your circle, like,
Out to the
okay,
universe. That's what I do. Because I you see, like you said, that you write stuff down.
Yeah.
That resonates with me because a lot of things that I've wanted in my life, I've written that down, and I've put that out to the universe, like lots of important things, and that's
it comes.
manifested and it's happened.
Yeah.
So that's what I've done. I think writing stuff down is not.
Yeah,
hard.
writing stuff
I
down
might
is
actually
important.
do that because of my experiences with writing stuff down before.
so far it hasn't taken place, but you could be open to writing
Well, no, but
the man that you're
I could be
after.
open to that because, as I said, other important things, other not that it's an achievement, but other things that I've wanted in life, I've written it down and I've put it out to the universe, and it has manifested.
Okay.
So I'm not opposed to that.
Baby steps.
I know. I'm
steps.
getting
Small.
I literally am getting excited. But there was a guy in
Look
the
at you.
there was a guy in the comments. Oh
yeah.
Give me a break.
and he said that he loved
He
you.
loved you.
So,
He
brethren,
loved you.
come into the DMs and like show yourself. Like, send some
We got to
pictures.
vet you, though. We got to vet you first.
Yeah, because you are
You
on.
can't be
YouTube.
playing around.
But he did say that he loves you.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
You got
Imagine
fans.
if that's your husband.
Imagine.
That's not my husband.
You never
know.
My husband's ain't going to be sliding into.
Zizi said she's had some dates from the DM.
Yeah.
DMs is not. DMs
I
is
said the auntie's DMs. He's not even sliding into mine. He's
Yeah,
sliding
yeah,
into
yeah.
the auntie DMs.
the comments.
That's the first thing you need to
Just
do.
a declaration.
Yeah.
Find out her app.
Declaration.
It's on the page.
Do you know what I mean? It's not hard.
If he really means it.
Seriously.
Imagine he did though. That would be so crazy.
She's created a whole vision in her head.
when she
She's
gets-
seen it.
This is when the Auntie Annie has poo-pooed. When she starts running with her tangents.
Egypt does this stuff. Yeah. My daughter does this stuff. I said to her, I love Skepta. Skepta, I love you. And she was
Imagine.
like, oh my God, mummy, Skepta could be my stepdad. Can you imagine? You could meet him. I'm like, it's not going to happen. I'm not.
How do you know?
No.
If it happens, can I do a speech at the wedding? And just say, like, I
Yeah,
said
you,
that.
can, you know what? You can officiate.
Oh my God.
Don't give her a goal.
His favour. I'm not in favour.
I don't know what his favourite is actually. All right, Nana. Speaking of married people.
I'm not.
I didn't actually know that conversation was going to go this way. That was good. Thank you. Okay, so as a married, I had shit take place this week that I need you guys' advice on because I don't even know how to process this. Where a fellow content creator decided, his name is Sarah Garvey. He decided that he was going to ask me to be on his forthcoming show via my husband.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
You asked permission.
Wait, what do you mean?
He DM'd my husband, yeah, and it went through to, you know, the other inbox because they're not friends. So it took a little while for somebody else to alert my husband that he is needed to speak to Sarah because Sarah wants to speak to him about something. So he goes into his other inbox, looks, and he sees, yes, Sarah has DM'd him with his number saying, call me. So he comes in a little bit flustered, like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why people are contacting me for you. You know how our relationship is. So he's like, why is this going on? So anyway, he puts him on speakerphone and calls him. And Sarah answers.
Put him on speakerphone.
Yeah,
I love that.
No, I'm sitting there on the sofa like, this is strange. Sarah then proceeds to be like, yeah, so I just wanted to speak to you quickly, bruv, like, because I want your wife on my show, but I wanted to get permission from you.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Mate.
Sorry, what?
Wait.
Permission.
Ask questions, please.
Wait.
Is this handmaiden?
He said, I wanted to get permission.
Yes.
From
you, would it be okay for me to speak to your wife about coming on my show?
ridiculous.
Sorry.
It's mad, yeah?
Are you
I'm not going mad.
Are you a child? Are you?
Are you a possession?
Like,
It's never allowed to play out today. What is that?
What the hell?
So this took place. This literally.
2024.
Yes.
Yeah.
This man rang your husband with chest
Yeah.
and said, I wanted to get permission.
Yeah.
Like, what the actual fuck? Is he asking for your hand in marriage?
Is he
Like,
coming
what,
to?
like,
Is your husband your dad? Like, what's happening?
what's happening?
Yeah.
Even my dad, as a content creator who was out here every week spouting my opinions on my own, with you guys, like, I think it's ludicrous for somebody to think that they would need to speak to my husband.
Absolutely.
He's basically
If
saying
I'm going to come on your platform. Like, do you think that he could say to me, yeah, you got to go over there?
Did he think Russ was your agent?
Does he think that you're allowed, like you're only doing your aunties could never because your husband has said you're allowed?
Are your opinions your own, Nana?
By the way,
Because
blink twice.
Blink twice.
because
Russell,
I was.
what's going on?
Literally, the pair of us are at a loss. So anyway, the conversation proceeds. He's like, Nana's listening, so you can ask her what you want to ask. Then he's like, yeah, so I wanted you to be on my platform to have a conversation with Mark Cuban about domestic violence. Because
are you okay, Sarah?
Because you guys
think you are.
Because you guys did an episode where you were quite scathing against him, and so he would like to have a discussion with you on this. Literally, I'm sitting there like, I swear this dude has never watched us.
No.
Because you should know that, for one, I am going to say hell to the no to that motherfucker.
100%.
Like, and
100%.
why would I demean myself to have a conversation with Mark Cuban when 3 women painted him to be a serial abuser and scammer?
And so what if the angle was, I'm going to ask your husband, because your husband's going to tell you because of the bro code because he feels like he wants to sanitize Mark Cuban's reputation. So he's also disrespecting Russell too, assuming that Russell will be on the same page, like, you know what? Yes, as your husband, I'm giving you the soundest advice, because obviously you only listen to what your husband says. And he's thinking as a bro code, Russell's going to be like, yeah, you know what? You should do this to help man get cleaned up. And this is what you should do, wife. That's why Sarah did that as well.
So again, he's never listened to Russell's podcast.
He's such a
doesn't
scummy
know. Yeah.
individual. He really is, like, absolutely scummy. And the thing is, it's just like, so you're asking my husband if I to go on this show to put me in harm's way. Seriously. And you think my husband is going to be okay with that? Really and truly. Why would you do that?
Or
do you know what I mean?
Maybe he's doing it that if you go on and Mark Cuban's out, he's going to be like, well, her husband said it was okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
What kind of that's scummy behaviour?
Baseline love.
Absolutely scummy
Never gonna
behaviour.
happen.
This is the thing.
And also, you were associated with that witch.
Exactly.
When
like you,
I actually
you were
contacted
validated
you,
that witch.
exactly. What was we calling him? It was literally all the names.
All the names. We're not allowed
It
to
was
say the names.
exactly.
But
There was a lot of like slavery references. So again, it's like we could have, and it wasn't even all of us that was prepared to even talk to you at the time.
Absolutely
But it
not.
was basically to vindicate yourself with Pearl. But this, again, put me back into the space of, this guy is nuts.
Yeah, he's not.
And I
It's not
don't...
for black women either.
He's
because
not-
that's
Exactly. He
taking a
doesn't
piss.
like black women. But
No,
what
he doesn't.
century are we in that you're calling my husband? So you know you get increasingly angry.
Yeah.
Like, so at the time, I'm like, no, wouldn't do it. The phone goes off. And then me and Russ look at each other. And then I'm getting increasingly incensed.
Yeah,
Like,
liberties.
what have I put out there that you think that you would need to get permission from my husband? What have we put out as a couple? Because we're not that.
Do you know what? It's not even, you can't even internalize that. That's
No.
him. That is
That's all
who
him.
he is. And he's imposed his scummy opinions and his scummy behavior on you two, unfortunately. Do you know what I mean? You was just minding your own business.
Properly.
And he just like thought, okay, who can I infect today? Basically. Seriously, he's awful.
It's
absolutely awful.
Okay. So I'm not going mad. I had to
No,
bring my...
no, you're not going mad.
Every so
Absolutely
often
not
I'm going to
going
bring a... I'm not going mad.
No.
Going mad. It's
No.
not- get out, man.
Because have you never listened to the podcast?
Yeah, and
have you
also-
never watched it? Have you, or even if you don't want to listen or watch,
No
the
one
podcast?
likes you, Saga. Like, no one likes you, okay?
And also, like, we're not. You might think that we're just out here for clicks. We actually take this podcast seriously, and we have a moral standpoint. So we're not just out there inviting anyone and
Yeah.
talking about anyone and thinking that we're kicking with anyone just for likes and numbers. That's not it. We want to make sure, we've just said, we're resetting what it means to be an auntie. It's a badge of honor. We do this with respect and to support, like, to
Integrity.
be integrity. We're a voice to, like, support our people, like, in a positive way. I'm not gonna sanitize no freaking DV associated person. And you, like, come into, bro, piss off.
Honestly. Politely.
Please, take it away.
Okay,
Even non-politely.
non-politely.
Disrespectfully.
No,
so.
yeah. Be very
Disrespectfully.
Suck your anyway.
Through a straw.
All of that, seriously.
So onto some dilemmas.
There we go.
My white boyfriend doesn't know I wear a wig.
Oh, no.
Okay.
What?
I started losing my hair about 10-ish years ago. Oh, due to traction alopecia. So I cut it really short and started wearing lace wigs. My boyfriend is white and we've been dating for a little over a year, but he thinks my wig is my natural hair. My natural hair is pretty short and I still have some bald spots, so I'm embarrassed to show him what I look like without the wig. But I also feel like I need to be honest sooner rather than later because I don't want him to think I've been lying this entire time. And he has mentioned moving in together when my lease ends in June. So I will feel like he's going to find out at some point. Do you have any advice?
You got to tell him, like, that, especially if it's going somewhere, you have to show what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't hide it. But, oh my God.
Do you think
I'm
he
just
really doesn't
thinking if
know?
he would...
I was going to say that. I
you
think
think
he
that he would know?
knows. I think
Must know.
in this day and age, you kind of, it will be hard for it not to come up. Like, if you're a person who's active on social media in an interracial relationship, it'll be very hard for it not to come up.
Like, he would know what it looks like, so he's just not talking about it.
Or just like, do you wear those, babe? Do you know what I mean? Let me touch you. Do you know what I mean? There'll be a something, you know, hard wig, soft light. There will be a conversation
I feel like
about
if
something.
There's not a sorry, go ahead.
No, finish.
I was going to say, I feel like if there's not even a conversation, even with the best wigs, he must know it's a wig, right?
Like, he should be able to
you
see.
should be able to see. Like,
Something.
you're up close and personal. You're having sex. You're doing the most, right? You must be able to see. I'm just, yeah, like...
Okay, but
and
let's take it that what she's saying is fact, like, he doesn't know.
Yeah.
How does she broach that?
You've got to let him know in the end because it'll... And I don't know if you're building up a bigger spectre in your mind of, like, what's going to happen. In theory, he loves you for you. He's asking you to move in. He probably has figured out you're wearing a wig. I think the other thing is the alopecia, but that's not like it's something that you've done wrong. It's a medical condition. So you just have to be honest. And to be fair, if that man who says he loves you can't take you wigless, can't take you with your alopecia, then he's actually not the man for you.
Yeah.
So if you have any other doubts around your relationship and that's what's feeding into your insecurities about telling the full truth about you, then that could be a check. Is every step of your relationship intact? Do you feel secure about everything else aside from this little thing that you haven't revealed. So that's something that you might need to question. That are there other situations in your relationship that you're not too secure about, and you feel like this might be the icing on the cake that breaks you up. So if you're holding on to a relationship that's not true, that's another thing that you need to check for yourself. Otherwise, you must take off the wig and you must tell him about the alopecia and you must free yourself of this burden.
I would like to believe that he knows that she's wearing a wig and he hasn't brought it up because it doesn't bother him. That's what I would like to believe. But 100% everything that you said, that she should be honest and just tell him, tell him her story, her journey, what she's gone through, and it will probably make you even closer. And he might even appreciate the fact that you've opened up to him.
Yeah.
And if he can't bun him,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. That is so true, you know, because actually you're hiding like quite a large part of your experiences.
Yeah.
And yeah, you need to open that up because you really are hiding a part of yourself and an illness and what you look like, truly. So actually, that has to be explored. You have to allow him to see you in your full form. You know, I swear it was from the 50s, but you know, there was that thing that women would get up really early and do their makeup and their man had never seen.
Just the 50s, there's women
and then they
that would
wake
do
up
that.
like there are women now.
Yeah.
They wake up like an hour before they wake up and put light makeup on and then like wait for and then get back into bed.
Yeah,
and go like this and be like, oh, my wife's really beautiful in the
They do that in
morning.
Bridesmaids when she got up quickly before her man.
That's crazy. That person is never truly seeing
Yeah,
you.
it was amazing.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of the 50s. But obviously, it's like that's not being true.
True.
Do you remember that guy that sued his wife?
Oh yeah, this East Asian guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
For
he
plastic
said-
surgery.
Yeah, he said that she's not representing.
Yeah.
And like he'd never seen her without her makeup. And then when they got married and he woke up the next morning, he was like, who is this woman? Who
Oh,
are
there's
you?
that one, and then there was the plastic
No,
surgery.
I'm talking about the makeup one.
No, the plastic surgery where he was like,
Yeah,
what
because
you
the
look
kids
like
were
today,
butters.
kids were-
No.
Yeah,
there was
the
one
kids
with
came out.
Kids
makeup.
revealed the
They
truth.
look like her.
Nah, there was one with makeup, and the guy woke up the day after they got married and was like, "Wagwan, you're not
that's
my
not
wife."
All right, cool. This is one that it came out a while ago, but I think we should discuss it. Marlon Wayans, the actor, said he never married to avoid making his mother jealous. He explained that he wanted to keep his mother as his number one girl, and this was a significant factor in his decision not to marry. He had he maintained relationships, notably a long-term relationship with Angela Zachary, apparently, who he has 2 kids with, but he described his mother as being very needy and said during one of their last conversations before she passed in 2020, he reassured his mother on her deathbed that he never married because he always wanted her to feel prioritised over anyone else. Since his mother's passing, Wayans has expressed more openness to the idea of marriage, contemplating that he probably got one in him. One marriage, that's quite funny. He views marriage as something rigid and prefers the flexibility of relationships, blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah. But the main important thing is that he didn't marry because of his mum. What do you guys feel about this commentary? Is this a healthy take?
Absolutely not. It's really toxic. It's really toxic. And I feel sorry for his ex. Do you know what I mean? To deal with that must be a lot, to be honest. And I think it's just like it must be sad because you haven't really lived life. Do you know what I mean? Because your mother was overbearing and then you pandered to her, really. That's really, I couldn't imagine.
Innit?
Yeah.
And also, it might be, is it an imposition? Did you project that onto her? And did you really absolutely know that of your mum? Did you hear one conversation or like sometimes with children, we take a set moment in time of our parents' personality and don't always take notice of their evolution and growth. And sometimes you forget to have those key conversations as you mature to see where they're at. So, I mean, I'm not saying I don't know, and I don't want to speak ill of his mother, but were you projecting something? Are you finding a scapegoat in your mum, maybe being potentially, you're my baby boy, I don't want you to marry these fast women out there just out for your money? Were her words of advice, did you take them on too literally and then blame her for your inability to have a secure relationship?
That's partly it. Like, he's the last of, I think, 11. He's the baby of the bunch, right? And I, just based on the rest of the stuff that he said, like, I don't really believe in marriage and it's rigid. It doesn't sound to me like you actually want to get married. And he says that I've got one in me. That means that like you're going to marry and then divorce. You're already projecting that it's going to end. So he doesn't actually sound like the marrying kind. He does sound like the kind of person that's going to be like, oh, because my mum, you know, my mum said that she doesn't want us to get married. I've got to be there for my mum.
Yeah.
You know, it's a great excuse, isn't it, to use your mum. So I don't know. I think it might be a little bit of both, but I'm swaying more towards he's using it as an excuse.
I think they go hand in hand, like literally birds of a feather. His mum is overbearing and he uses that as an excuse because at some point you have to stand up and be an adult, and it doesn't matter what your parents are after, you have your own will.
Right.
And it feels like he never did that. Either way, he is a walking red flag. And even now, if he was like, I'm ready, he'd have to do a lot of
You need
proving.
to work on yourself.
Yeah.
It's the fact that jealous. It's just like, bro, what is this? This is sounding like incest, and I don't like it.
Like, you're going to always be in his mum's shadow, and it's probably going to... Mum used to cut the crust off my breast. Like,
I still feel like it's an excuse because he's had long-term relationships. He's just chose not to marry.
he's a commitment phobe.
That's what I mean.
And
He's
we don't
chosen
know
not to.
how involved his mother were in those relationships.
But, you know
what I mean?
In this soundbite that's out there, he doesn't even say that when I had a long term, my mum, he didn't give examples of how my mum got involved in my relationship, which is the reason why. He's just said, well, I had long-term relationships, I just didn't get married. So did your mum say to you, just don't get married? What were the things that she did to interrupt your flow? And you haven't given an example, and I don't know in your comedy take that you give more examples. But if you don't have examples, then I will lean more into it's an excuse rather than that actually, truly your mum was get too much in meddling in relationships. I'm not sure. And what about the other brothers and sisters?
That's what I was going to
Because
say.
they've all done
They've
their
all done
thing.
married, been married,
I know he's
got
the baby,
married, had
but
married.
But this was in a stand-up.
He was promoting his stand-up, and I guess he's going to be discussing that within his stand-up as well.
Okay.
So, comedians have that moment of truth.
Yeah.
When, and like I said, being very respectful of losing your mother and all that type of stuff. I don't want to kind of, whatever that situation is, I'm not speaking on that, but as a person, red flag in my opinion.
Yeah, definite red
It's
flag.
probably hamming it up though.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's just what you put out there.
Maybe the mum said, don't marry that chick. And it could have been like the first chick he was ever with.
Right.
And he's just kept that in his brain.
Like,
Who
my
knows?
mum said no.
Yeah.
So my mum doesn't need to be married.
It
could be.
Okay. But anyway, I guess, I don't know, it's just thoughts, because if you meet a guy like this, just dig a bit deeper, guys. Yeah. Auntie shots.
Okay. My girlfriend wants too much sex and I'm tired.
Hey.
Dear aunties, help me.
Try.
Okay.
Me and my girl have been together for 3 years. We've had fun. It's been good. A few breakups along the way, but overall, we're generally good. But my girl is a freak in the bedroom and very demanding.
Good. Wow.
We're in our late 20s, so the energy is there, but I can't lie. In the beginning, I was matching her. I thought I was onto a winner because she would never say no. Now I'm getting a bit tired and I'm worried that I might lose her if I say I want to slow down. She already gets mad if I come quickly. Oh, wow.
Oh.
Mad. Or
Vex.
if she wants to go again after I've bust and I tell her to give it a minute. Oh, wow.
Oh,
she's
anger.
demanding.
Bro, I've recently started faking being asleep at times. And once or twice, I've put my phone on silent. Ooh. Especially when I've had a long day and she'll expect me to come to mine or me go to hers. I can't talk to my boys because they won't get it. What should I do?
He'd be surprised, actually, how many guys probably are going through the same, but they don't talk about it with each other. But you're not matched, though, innit?
No.
Like, this is crazy. Like, you're just not sexually in the same place. And it's actually okay because that's how it is. Like, she just needs to find somebody that can match her and you need somebody that can match your desires. Like, this is lying. He's beginning to start, well, he is lying. Like, I'm tired, switching off your phone, and all of that. You're not equally matched.
It seems like you're getting those insecurities about your masculinity. You're placing your sexually inequality with the fact that maybe it's something to do with your manhood. It's not. there could be so many other things that's not making you feel like you want to go as fast as her. And maybe she's just got a high sex drive and you don't. And that's okay. As a man, you don't have to bang everything that moves 24/7. You just don't. I think it's having sexual literacy and understanding yourself. And it is probably best to, guys, start talking to each other. Because your boy could be sitting there going like, raw, man, my girl is on it and I'm tired. Have those conversations. Break the seal.
I think he's trying,
that's
bro.
the problem. Yeah, you're just not matched. And, you know, it's totally fine for... He sounds like he's in his 30s.
He said he's late 20s.
Did he say he's late 20s?
Yeah, late 20s as well.
That started early. No, but for real. Because, like, men are... When they get into their 30s, they're not what they were.
Starts to
Like,
slow
25 is like their peak, right? This when they're... Those ages, they're go, go, go. So...
Yeah.
It's perfectly normal what you're going through. And the expectation that you're going to be... she can't give you a minute. Like, that's...
And maybe you don't deep down like her. Maybe
And that's the part too. But also, I just really feel like they're not matched.
Yeah.
And if you're starting to lie about your whereabouts and make excuses, you just need to bite the bullet and just say to her, either talk to her about
Yes,
it. And
talk to her.
if she's not responsive, then you're not meant to be together.
Yeah.
You know?
It's okay.
That's it. You're still young. You've got time to find someone else that matches you.
Yeah.
Or get a blue pill.
Interesting.
If he want... If you want to be out doing it all the time like she wants, then yeah, there are tools that...
Maybe because
there are other things you can take to help you.
Yeah.
But also she probably does have things to work through as well. You know, there's always different things. Like, it's not always about the drive. And if there is... your synergies aren't matching and she's like, I need to be fulfilled. She may need to be being fulfilled because she is running away from something.
Yeah.
So also have the conversations because like sexual appetite works its way in lots of different ways with different people. And it may not have anything to do with you. And what you're not being able to perform to is because synergy-wise, you know that it's not authentic. It's not that you two are in the throes of passion. There may be something that she is masking, wants to get away from, wants to fill a hole of. There may be an insatiable appetite that you're like, it's not about me. It's not about our love. It is something else with her. Who knows? And if you want to explore it, you have to talk.
Absolutely.
Properly have a conversation.
Absolutely.
You went, ooh.
I think she might just have a high sex drive. It might not be anything deeper than that. Do you know what I mean? Or she might just have a normal sex drive and you have a low sex drive.
Yeah.
Could be that too. Do you know what I mean? I think that, you know, like, if you're like, I want to keep up with her, maybe work on your stamina, go to the gym, change your diet, all that kind of stuff if that's what you want to do. But like, if that's not, then you can also explore different types of relationships. We're in a different era now. Do you know what I mean? People can open up their relationships sometimes, you know, that kind of thing. Or you might just want to call it a day. I think you've got options.
I think also, if she was listening or however, I would say to her also, how are you communicating your displeasure? Because getting vexed and angry also isn't a great way to communicate unless you're getting... Unless if as a woman, because sometimes as a woman, like, can you please just listen to me? And there's some men that are very selfish in the bedroom. So there's that. And if you're kind of annoyed, then you also as the woman have to think, what is going on here? This isn't working. So if you're getting to the point of anger because you're not getting what you want, you also have to kind of question the situation you're in.
Ooh. Because maybe you're not satisfying her, not in terms of how much you do it, but maybe you're doing it and you're just satisfying yourself.
Yeah, he's just busting, innit?
So if it's just centered to you, I can understand why you're going to get vexed. Imagine she's like pulling out all the stops.
Yeah.
And then you're just doing blah. Like, and now it's nighttime, let's roll over. Like, that's boring, isn't it? So I can imagine after a certain period of time, she's going to get vexed, especially if you bust and you come and then she's like, they're sitting there.
And he's not thinking about any...
And you're not thinking... It has to be mutual. So again and again and again and again, it's a conversation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just also want to make sure that she's actually getting mad when you come as well.
Yes, all of that.
Like, do you know what I mean? Just talk that through.
Yeah.
Just make sure the emotions are what you think they are.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She said round two and he was like, give me a minute. She's like, no.
Fucking waste, man.
Doesn't sound...
What's your definition?
Should we wrap up? We've got more news and nonsense coming. So, guys, thank you so much. That has been your Aunties Could Never. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we're going to have to do news and nonsense with extra aunties. So you're not going to know what's going on unless you sign up. Guess how much it is?
$1.99.
$1.99.
$1.99. Sign up.
$1.99.
99999. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.